Hey there, folks. Today, I'm diving into a tale from the past, the infamous Emu War, an episode that took place in the land down under. Picture this, Australia, 1932, a time when a significant chunk of the population lived on homesteads, hoping for crops to miraculously sprout from the earth. But hold on a second, things weren't exactly rosy. You see, Australian soil wasn't exactly the farmer's best friend. On a scale from 1 to 10, with 1 being awful and 10 being fantastic, their soil was hovering somewhere around not so great. And just to add a cherry on top of this bleak situation, the Great Depression was casting its gloomy shadow, making everything even more challenging. And then, enter the emus, long-legged, feathered fiends that strolled around like they owned the place. They had a knack for ruining crops and leaving their mark everywhere they went. The government had to act, and they had 2 options: pour money into supporting the struggling population or take out the emus and look helpful. Guess which path they chose? Meet Major G.P.W. Meredith, a military man tasked with leading the operation. He had 2 soldiers by his side, armed with light machine guns and a grand total of 10,000 rounds of ammo. On paper, it sounded like a cakewalk. After all, emus are just like giant turkeys on stilts, right? Wrong. Turns out, emus are tougher than you'd think. They're like walking tanks made of meat, capable of shaking off a few bullets and still sprinting away. Plus, these feathered troublemakers had a trick up their wing: guerrilla warfare tactics. When danger reared its ugly head, they'd break into smaller groups and scatter like leaves in the wind, making them incredibly tricky targets. So, Major Meredith and his team set out to eliminate the emu infestation. They took a shot at it, literally, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. The first attempt was a bust. They shot before they were even in range. Next, their gun jammed. Then, they tried chasing the emus on a truck, but the bumpy ride made aiming impossible. This pattern continued, and they ended up using a considerable chunk of their ammo with only a small number of emus eliminated. The emus seemed to be taunting them, outsmarting every strategy. By the time they were down to just 100 bullets, the soldiers realized they were outmatched and surrendered. Yes, you heard it right, the emus won the battle. But don't celebrate just yet. The government put a bounty on the emus, and that's when things took a dark turn. Over the next 6 months, thousands of emus met their end as farmers collected bounties, proving that sometimes crowdsourcing can be quite effective. So, kids, the lesson here is that if you're ever faced with an emu uprising or any challenge, really, it might take more than sheer firepower to win. And with that, I'll sign off. Until next time, this is History East, reminding you that even in the strangest stories, there's always something to learn. Thanks for tuning in.